didn't know iCarly had like important lore.
On the set of the most popular live-action show in Nickelodeon history, iCarly, Miranda Cosgrove and Jeanette McCurdy appeared to be great friends, and they were. However, Jeanette was suffering, and nobody knew about it. Jeanette was forced into acting by an abusive mother who did things you would not wish on your worst enemy, but she couldn't
Stop laughing at the director.
How I never knew Sam went through this. What's going on, Paula?
Paula Cartel joined the crew.
Wait, this is crazy.
Take $100 off her check.
What's going on, Paula?
Miranda, on the other hand, was raised in a loving home with parents who worked hard to keep her emotionally secure. Without realizing it, Miranda became a part of a story far more tragic than she could have imagined, and the choices she made would change Jeanette's life forever. This is the dark side of iCarly, how one young girl thrived while the other barely survived. Jeanette's life started out as nothing short of hell on earth. Born in Southern California to a poor Mormon family, Jeanette grew up witnessing her mom, Deborah McCurdy, battle stage 4 breast cancer. After learning about her diagnosis, Deborah became a hoarder, attaching meaning and significance to even the tiniest objects. Their home quickly became suffocated by overwhelming piles of random stuff. It got so bad that Jeanette and her brothers could no longer sleep in their own bedrooms and had to resort to gymnastic mats laid on the floor in the living room. It really did not feel like a home. It felt like a place of chaos and of turmoil and turbulence. Jeanette's mother always dreamed of being an actor, so she projected her own unattainable aspirations onto her daughter. And despite her—
Bro, I would never be this type of parent, bro. I would never put what I want, nigga, on my kid. That's so stupid. Bro, like, come on, bro.
Her daughter being a
nigga, if you wanted to be an actor, you in your life should have went and did that. You should have put the whatever you had to do to go do that. I'm not gonna lie. Projecting that on your kid sucks. Even though your kid turned out to be a great fucking actor, but still.
Shy and uncomfortable performer, she was clearly a promising young talent, making guest appearances on Mad TV, CSI, Malcolm in the Middle, and Law & Order. Deborah's need for control went beyond strict parenting and managing her daughter's acting career. It was an all-consuming obsession that dictated every facet of Jeanette's existence. She would shower Jeanette for her until she was 11, oftentimes putting Jeanette and her—
Shower your kid till they're 11 years old? Come on, bro. That's sick.
16-year-old brother in the shower together. She shaved her legs for her and performed routine breast and vaginal exams on Jeanette to check her for cancer.
I didn't know. This is wild. I'm already mad and it's only 2 minutes into the video. Holy hell.
Her mom even taught her how to restrict her calories in an attempt to delay puberty and appear younger to land more jobs, essentially
it keeps getting worse.
Encouraging Jeanette to become anorexic.
So I asked if there was a way that I could stop the boobies from coming in, and she told me, well, there's a thing called calorie restriction. Wow. And it became our sort of secret and our code, and something that, as disturbing as it is, really bonded us. Right. It was our thing. Yep. Wow. No one else got this thing. We got this thing. I can look at you from across the room and know you got me and I got you. And we were just in the disease, in the sickness. But there was a connection that the sickness created that I, of course, couldn't see at the time.
Her favorite foods soon became sugar-free popsicles, applesauce, and unsweetened iced tea. And her dinners often consisted of iceberg lettuce with dressing spray and ripped up pieces of low-calorie bologna.
Every day? I mean,
this also made for a confusing dynamic, as Jeanette's character on iCarly was obsessed with food, constantly indulging in binge eating, which to her almost felt like a mockery of her real life. But again, nobody knew what Jeanette's mother was doing to her. Not only was she a malnourished child, but she also dealt with the same stresses of adult actors on set.
That's a good question. I remember I would cry on several occasions when it just felt like it really got to be too much, and I'd tell my mom, I don't want to do this anymore. But she would either say, like, Nat, you don't mean that, or she'd say, well, we need this. So there were kind of two different arguments that she would hit me back with, and then I'd feel guilty. And, you know, would keep doing it.
Which is why when she landed the role of Sam Puckett on iCarly at age 14, as soon as she thought it would be a breakthrough moment. Everything's going to be better. Mom will finally be happy. Her dream has come true. Unfortunately, iCarly was not going to be the saving grace that Jeanette had hoped for.
Why?
But the one bright spot was the close friend
because of the nigga who runs iCarly. I don't even want to get into that right
she formed with her co-star, Miranda Cosgrove. Unlike Jeanette, Miranda's parents never intended to force their child into into the entertainment industry. An agent discovered Cosgrove at a Los Angeles food festival with her parents. Her mother, Chris, inspected the business card but remained hesitant to put her child in front of the camera. So they started off slow, first getting her appearances in Burger King commercials and then occasionally auditioning for theater and television roles.
Man, she's really her though. Both of them, like even Sam went through all that shit. What you call it? She went through all that, but like, damn.
However, Miranda's life drastically changed after securing her film debut in the comedy School of Rock. The film stars Jack Black as Dewey Finn, a down-on-his-luck musician who poses as a substitute teacher at a prestigious prep school. He then discovers his students are musically talented and secretly turns them into a rock band to compete in the Battle of the Bands. Cosgrove plays the role of Summer Hathaway, the hilariously uptight and naive band manager.
What's the matter?
You want me to be a groupie?
Well, groupie's an important job.
I research groupies on the internet. They're sluts. They sleep with a band.
School of Rock was unanimously loved by fans and critics, grossing over $131 million worldwide box office. Miranda performed the role of a bossy yet charmingly smug child so well that it made her the obvious choice for the role of Megan Parker in the legendary Nickelodeon teen sitcom Drake and Josh. But Miranda didn't even understand how massive this opportunity was. When I really understood I was acting, since I did it from the time I was so little, I never thought of it as a job, and I didn't realize that everybody didn't do it. Miranda was so innocent, not even knowing she was working, compared to Jeanette, who became painfully aware of her reality as her mother taught her how to starve herself to secure more acting roles to pay the bills.
So basically, nigga, they was on two different sides of the spectrum, bro. One was looking at all the bright side. She was looking at all the bright side of, what do you call it, acting. The other one, she over there like barely she's struggling to really get through this shit.
To learn of Miranda's innocence, considering her character on Drake and Josh was borderline evil. Drake and Josh aired on Nickelodeon from 2004 to 2007 and follows two teenage boys who become stepbrothers after their parents get married. The two boys could not be more opposite. However, they would bond in fear of their cunning and mischievous little sister, Megan. Megan takes great pleasure in tormenting her older brothers.
What makes you think that I would have the baby?
Because you're a devious, twisted little girl.
Why, thank you, Drake.
While she appears sweet and innocent to adults, she is secretly always plotting elaborate schemes to outsmart Drake and Josh.
No way! You just hustled me.
No, I didn't. I just pretended to be bad so that you'd bet me, and then I stopped being bad and I took your money.
That's hustling.
There's a word for it.
Nick humor is always my humor. Anytime I see this shit, I'm gonna laugh, nigga. It doesn't matter how old I get. I'm always gonna laugh.
Cool.
Miranda's devious charm helped solidify Drake and Josh as the most beloved and influential live-action sitcom on Nickelodeon at the time, drawing in millions of viewers per episode, peaking at 5.8 million viewers for its highest-rated special.
Not Miranda. I'm talking about Jeanette. Like,
Miranda's parents were wary of the impact that fame could have on their daughter, so they did everything they could to maintain a normal lifestyle.
That's as a parent should. You shouldn't be telling your daughter to starve herself and fucking hold puberty off, nigga. What type of shit is that? That's some wild shit. I ain't never heard no
such as choosing to still live in the house where Miranda was born, and her father continuing to work every day at his dry cleaning business. Her parents also tried to keep Miranda in public school.
In elementary school, I just remember thinking, wow, I'm popular. All of a sudden, I don't think I was thinking about it too much. And I remember like the kid that I had a crush on who didn't know I existed all of a sudden talked to me. Like I think I just thought things were coming up roses.
However, by the time she reached 6th grade,
her ass living in La La Land, nigga, while the other one is going through like deep shit. This is crazy.
Her acting schedule clashed with her education, and Miranda needed to make a huge decision. It took a lot for my mom to give in. I remember her asking, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to stay in acting?" And also noticed that 10 and 11-year-old Miranda Cosgrove actually had a choice, something that most other child actors don't have. She ultimately chose to pursue acting and leave a normal life behind. Miranda immediately transitioned to private schooling on set with Drake and Josh.
I remember when I was doing schooling, at first you guys were with me, and then within 6 months you both were no longer. I don't remember if it was because you graduated or if it was because
God,
I kept
so
saying
good.
to my mom, where did Drake and Josh go?
Kevin, the teacher. You remember Kevin?
Oh, Kevin Mall. I remember him, yes.
Kevin Mall.
He used to make me raise my hand. I was the only one when you guys left
they
in the classroom.
all went to school.
They made you raise your hand and you were the only one in the classroom?
Yes, he said he was preparing me if I ever had to go back to regular school.
Most child actors in Miranda's position, like Jeanette, feel extremely isolated, missing out on normal childhood experiences while they spend long hours on set under the intense pressure to perform. Their social circles are typically limited to co-stars, adults, and industry professionals, which never gives them a break from essentially this made-up fantasy world they live in. But Miranda's parents made key decisions that set her on a much different path than Jeanette. The California Labor Code, Section 1308.
To protect your child is a beautiful thing, bro. That's what you got to do, my nigga. Protect your kid. Because, bro, like, you got niggas like the Nickelodeon nigga that's there.
5 requires that a parent or legal guardian be present at all times when a minor is working in the entertainment industry. Since Miranda's mom was always hovering around her on set, she kept her in check. In one instance, Miranda unintentionally ignored someone leaving her dressing room, and her mother made sure she acknowledged their presence and said goodbye. "Miranda," Chris said sharply, "someone said goodbye to you." Cosgrove stopped short and turned around. "Oh, I'm so sorry," she said earnestly. "Goodbye. It was nice to meet you." It may seem small, but enforcing normal social rules and instilling discipline into a child who could have easily turned into a diva is likely what helped Miranda become so normal.
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably
Drake and Josh ended when Miranda was just 14 years old. With plenty of years ahead of her and obvious star power as a child actor, Nickelodeon had no choice but to build a new show around Miranda. That show would bring together 2 young girls who were living drastically different lives behind the scenes. Dan Schneider, who was the head producer, writer, and creator at Nickelodeon, originally planned to create a show where Miranda plays a normal girl who gets cast to star in her favorite TV show called Starstruck. However, he would ultimately scrap the idea and begin the development for iCarly, a show about a group of teenagers running their own online web show, long before YouTubers and social media influencers became household names.
That's wild.
We're gonna make spaghetti tacos! A dish invented by my brother Spencer, whose real name is Letitia McPeanuts.
iCarly was way ahead of its time because it predicted the rise of online entertainment and showed how young people could build an audience outside of traditional media platforms. This is literally
streaming before streaming, bruh. Like, this is streaming before streaming.
iCarly also had a real website where they asked fans to submit content and participate in challenges. The show's humor, quirky characters, and fast-paced storytelling feels like you are watching a kids-oriented YouTube channel or a Twitch show, except with an unreasonable amount of foot jokes.
And this week we found the biggest weirdo yet. There he is, peeling a banana while he waits for the bus. Now, you think he's gonna eat the banana, right? Well, think again! Yep. There he goes. Doing the peel. What a freak. And that's why the new champion of Who's That Weirdo in My Neighborhood is Crazy Fruit Dude!
Miranda portrayed a character that was similar to her real-life personality. Sweet, wholesome, and silly. Jeanette's character, Sam, almost hit a little too close to home. Sam Puckett was known for her tough, no-nonsense attitude, sarcastic humor.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. Why does it match? Why does Sam's life match her? I just thought about her mother's situation in the show. Why does it... Hold on.
And rebellious spirit.
I got kicked out of the cafeteria for slapping Gibby with a piece of pizza.
Why did you slap Gibby with a piece of pizza?
I found it on the floor. I wasn't gonna eat it.
However, the writers included a darker side to Sam, making her one of the most complex characters on the show. She can definitely be seen as problematic and borderline toxic at times, frequently resorting to physical violence, which could make her seem like a straight-up bully.
I don't see a car. All I hear is
a ew, I hated this
lot of prattle.
I hated his ass.
She can also be manipulative, pressuring Carly into decisions that could get her friend in trouble. But looking beneath that layer, you can also see Sam as a victim of self-destructive behavior, especially considering her on-screen relationship with her mom, which again, I should remind you that nobody knew her struggles with her real mother. Her iCarly mom, Pam, was irresponsible and often absent. Sam was constantly locked out of her house, finding her own food, and was clearly lacking guidance, which may have forced Sam to develop a tough exterior.
Mom?
I know who I am.
Love you. Mother.
What, you think I don't love you?
You never say it.
Well, it's not easy to say I love you to a daughter who thinks I'm, you know, scummy.
I don't think you're scummy. All the time. Really? Yeah, really.
iCarly is considered by many to be the greatest Nickelodeon live-action show in history. Would agree. The series averaged over 6 million viewers at its peak, and the most watched episode, I Saved Your Life, aired to 11.2 million viewers, which is the second most viewed telecast in Nickelodeon history. You would think Miranda and Jeanette were on top of the world.
It's that close to Rugrats all grown up.
Nickelodeon history. You would think Miranda and Jeanette were on top of the world, but a decade later we would find out the horrors going on behind the scenes. In Jeanette's memoir that was released in 2022, she describes the grim experience working with the creator, which many have interpreted to be Dan Schneider. McCurdy wrote that the creator was mean-spirited, controlling, and terrifying, firing children over basic mistakes and making grown men and women cry with his insults and degradation. You can see it.
How do you let a nigga like that just slide though? Well, Dan Snyder probably had power, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. He need to get packed up. Well, he
glimpse of this alleged behavior as
they just didn't have any ignorant niggas back then, bro. They needed ignorancy like me. They needed a nigga like me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, if I'm getting insulted by Dan Snyder, bro, like I'm not gonna think about what repercussions it could have. But I'm just gonna see a fat slob calling me crazy names. I'm gonna beat on him.
Dan often walked around the set with his own personal camera, filming behind-the-scenes content to share on his personal blog, danwarp.com.
Stop laughing at the director. Show some respect, Jeanette. Respect.
What the fuck? Respect?
All right. Take $100 off her check.
Although it seems like he is just joking, knowing what Jeanette was feeling inside drastically changes the perspective of a clip like this. What? Jeanette also made major accusations that Schneider supplied minors with alcohol, quoting him as saying, "The Victorious kids get drunk together all the time. The iCarly kids are..."
Why can't I see that? I'm not gonna lie, bro. You gotta look at this cast, bro. You don't think they... Bro, they look like a typical high school, you know what I'm saying? I bet these niggas were getting dressed. Yo, this don't surprise me, not even in the slightest. I'm not even gonna cap. This don't surprise me.
So wholesome. We need to give you guys a little edge. This allegation may have been corroborated by the actor who portrayed Beck on Victorious, who posted a TikTok that read, "When you don't remember the plotline to a single Victorious episode, but you remember going out partying every
bro.
night."
I know they was wilding, bro. Like, I just know.
Jeanette even claimed that Dan would provide unsolicited shoulder massages or demand others to give him massages, to which Dan admitted to.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
Bro, like, niggas like this need a mean. Another one. Like, they need a mean one. Like, come on,
and
bro.
Even
like,
additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well.
Yeah, looking back on some of the behind-the-scenes content with new context, many perceive Dan to be too handsy and touchy. Look at how Miranda steps away from Dan and he proceeds to make his way around her back and hugs her from behind as she seemingly freezes up. However, still to this day, Miranda has never spoken out against Dan Schneider, so we don't know if she truly had any traumatic experiences working under him. However, we do know that iCarly was the foundation of Miranda and Jeanette's friendship, even though Jeanette's mother tried everything she could to prevent it. Jeanette writes, "On set, Miranda said cuss words like shit and ass, and she..."
Wait, hold on.
Experiences working under him. However, we do know that iCarly was the foundation of Miranda and Jeanette's friendship, even though Jeanette's mother tried everything she could to prevent it. Jeanette writes, "On set, Miranda said cuss words like shit and ass, and she took the Lord's name in vain at least 50 times a day. Mom warned me not to get too close to Miranda because she doesn't believe in God."
Bro, she's a child. She doesn't know what she believes in. Yo, why does it get... Come on, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Jeanette explained how her mother skewed her view of female friendships since she would cast them in a negative light.
My mom was always saying, Men will never really know you and they'll hurt you, but women will know you deeply and then they'll hurt you. You tell me which is worse.
As a result, Jeanette was cautious around other girls, but by now she was a teenager. And even her mother's manipulative tactics couldn't prevent her from getting close with Miranda. Miranda and I spent hours talking every day. Even though in person Miranda seemed shy and quiet, she had a distinct and hilarious personality through her written words. So many of the things she said made me laugh. Her way of observing things, people, habits, human nature. I loved her, and I was so excited we were becoming friends. Jeanette kept the dark reality of her home life a secret. She hid it from Miranda, and from everyone. So the fact that her and Miranda truly became friends eliminated the idea that it could have been out of pity. It was genuine.
My best friend is Jeanette McCurdy, who was on iCarly with me, and we live really close to each other, and we have sleepovers all the time, and like I literally see her like every other day.
I'm very grateful for that friendship. It did provide me a lot of comfort in those really challenging years. My relationship with Miranda was hugely healing to my concept of women.
Jeanette's time spent with Miranda provided some much-needed relief from her chaotic personal life. Sadly, it was only temporary, as their journeys were about to go in very different directions after the end of iCarly.
Because she made Sam and
literally
Cat.
couldn't be better. It's like one huge family. We all get along great. I can't think of any group of people that I'd rather get to see every day. Even though I'll see them all the time, knowing that I won't see everybody every day anymore is awful.
At the height of her fame, Miranda earned $180,000 per episode of iCarly, and she was going to use that money to fund her next venture. Jeanette, on the other hand, doesn't know what happened to the money.
Did you get to keep this money, or
what?
Did all I'm curious about like the dynamic of how that worked.
Well, there's a thing called the Coogan account that actually takes, or is supposed to take 15% of your money off the top and kind of put it into the child's account so that they can have at least 15% of their money by the time they're 18, and the rest of the money is kind of up for grabs. Got these papers that were saying that like the Coogan account information was never properly filed. I got that in my 20s, so that was kind of a little bit of a shock because I really have no idea kind of what was happening, and you know, my mom was in control of everything. So I don't think I ever saw the Coogan account money.
Additionally, Miranda released...
So she was working for free? That
chart-topping music, performed concerts nationwide, and received several major brand deals. Cosgrove got to reap all of the benefits of being a child star, seemingly without being exposed to the horrors that come with it. And that's largely due to her parents refusing to fall victim to the complexities of raising a famous kid. After iCarly ended its 6th season, Miranda decided not to pursue a full-time Hollywood career. Instead of securing more mature roles and trying to prove herself in the industry, she decided to use her acting money to pay for college.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna still be living with my parents for a while because I want to go to USC really bad. So,
oh, you do?
Yeah, and it's not far from where I live.
She still wants to go to college.
And why do you want to go to college? You're already very wealthy, and I see no reason to get an education. It's just how I look at it.
My dad went to USC, so he wants me to go there really bad.
Did your dad have a hit show on Nickelodeon when he was a kid?
No.
No?
No, he's not drinking.
And what do you want to study when you go there?
I'm not sure. I was thinking film. That's what I'm really interested
all right.
in.
Okay, well, it all fits in the whole deal.
Yeah, they have a good film department, too.
Miranda did end up attending the University of Southern California, where she switched majors several times before landing on psychology. She even admitted that her fame helped her make new friends on campus, but her fame also made her a target, as she had multiple stalkers who got dangerously close to her.
Hold on. I can't be reading that right.
Or a target, as she had multiple...
Miranda Cosgrove revealed stalker who stalked her for a decade set himself on...
stalkers who got dangerously close to her. A crazy fan named Joshua Stockton allegedly started tracking Cosgrove's every move using clues from social media posts. According to TMZ, he reportedly went to her campus at USC to see her. He also sent Miranda gifts and later got upset because the packages returned unopened. He also tweeted a photo of his bandaged wrist with the caption, "Frankly, I'm tired of love, and my heart is ready to give out. Maybe I'll finish the job I started." She was granted a restraining order against the crazy fan, but then 1 year later he violated it as he followed her on a trip to Disneyland. Joshua Stockton was given 3
Why though? Like this is the weird part about being any type of famous, my nigga. Why? Just leave that girl alone.
Years probation and will be required to complete
psychiatric. So nigga was crazy.
A 1-year treatment program, including extensive psychiatric counseling. As if this wasn't scary enough, Miranda had a close call with another stalker who nearly took her life.
We saw some movie, and then afterwards it was raining, and it never hardly ever rains in LA. So I was kind of like, I don't want to go back to my place, even though my place is pretty close to Arclight. Anyway, I went to my parents' house, and then I got a call at like 3 in the morning that somebody had like died at my house. And it was the weirdest thing ever because they had like caution tape up, and it was right in my front yard. And basically, I guess a guy came, and he was like burying things in my backyard for like 3 days. He buried a lunchbox with like a milk chocolate inside of it in my backyard. And then he buried like knives and like a rope and like a bunch of random stuff. I found out later that like all that stuff was there, and that he had been like pacing in my backyard with a gun. He also looked like crazy, like he was wearing like this long trench coat. But yeah, he was just like pacing in my backyard, I guess. And because I have like security cameras, so later when we looked, we figured out he was back there for like 6 hours or something. Like waiting.
So imagine that she went home and she would have been packed up. That's God. That's divine intervention, nigga.
And then somebody drove up that had a similar car, like that kind of looked like my car, and I guess he got confused and he thought that maybe it was me driving up. It's just like bad luck. And he like shot at this person like 6 times, and he missed because she was in a car. She drove away, and then he set himself on fire and he shot himself simultaneously. And then later, so I got a call at like 3 or 4 in the morning. This happened probably at like 1 in the morning. I got a call at like 3 or 4 in the morning saying like, where are you? Like, can you come like to your house because someone like themselves there? And they were.
It's some crazy niggas in this world. It literally doesn't. But I don't even know the word. It's some just wild niggas in the world.
We're trying to just like put it all together, and they still haven't really put it all together, why it happened or like what the person was doing. And then it was crazy too. They found like his car like a few blocks away, and there was like blood and like hair in the trunk, and they were like, oh, he's probably a serial killer, but they never figured out exactly like the story.
Although this experience would probably lead to lifelong trauma from others, Miranda was more upset that he prevented her from meeting new friends.
But so a couple days before the incident with the guy that came to my house, I had never met the guy before, but he came to my house, and this was years ago too, and tried to kill me. So 2 days before that happened, I had the study group at my house. And the whole time I was inside trying to get these girls to think I was cool and like me and want me to be in the group, this guy was actually in my backyard with a gun, pacing back and forth in my backyard the entire time.
Oh my God.
While the girls were there?
Yes, with me and all the girls studying.
What the fuck?
And me bringing food in and trying to win them over. Because later, when everything happened and the police came, they checked the security footage. And so 2 days before, he had already been there.
While you were first trying to like have friends, there was a man with a gun in your backyard.
And then the police had to call all of the girls because for a split second they didn't know who he was. So they were trying to figure out his identity. So they called all the girls thinking maybe it was one of their ex-boyfriends or somehow related to them. And
like,
all
please don't call my friends. Please don't call my friends.
I was like, please just leave them out of this. They don't have to know.
Wow, bro.
They don't have to be a part of this. I don't really know them anymore.
Well, how do you think? They're like, we went to our house once and we almost died.
With the exception of the stalkers, Cosgrove regained a sense of normalcy in the real world, while McCurdy stayed trapped inside the Nickelodeon
I was finna say, how did we even get this? This is okay. It's both of them.
Hey, Dan Schneider. I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Fine. Look what you've done to me.
In August of 2012, Schneider took a fan favorite from iCarly, Sam Puckett, and a fan favorite from Victorious, Cat Valentine, and created a teen sitcom titled Sam and Cat. The pilot debuted on Nickelodeon to 4.2 million viewers and was surprisingly popular, but it only lasted 1 season and was canceled following controversy behind the scenes. You see, Jeanette says that Schneider originally promised a show centered around her Sam Puckett character. So are you excited to have your own show? The creator asks. Sure, that's it? No, of course I'm excited. I'm so excited. Good. Because I could give a new show to anyone, you know? But I didn't choose anyone. I chose you. But Dan's promises were empty, as the solo show turned into a sort of buddy comedy alongside Ariana Grande. Jeanette
lame. Don't make promises you can't keep, bitch. That's lame as hell. Oh, bro.
And Ariana just barely tolerated each other, mostly because of Schneider's manipulative tactics and the obvious favoritism towards Ariana.
My co-star Ariana Grande is a burgeoning pop star who misses work regularly to go sing at award shows, record new songs, and do press for her upcoming album, while
I never knew about this.
I stay back and angrily hold down the fort. I understand on a surface level why she has to miss work, but at the same time, I don't understand why she's allowed to. I booked 2 features during ICarly that I had to turn down because the ICarly team wouldn't write me out of episodes to go shoot them. Then this week happened. The week where I was told Ariana would not be here at all, and that they would write around her absence this episode by having her character be locked in a box. Are you kidding me? So I have to turn down movies while Ariana's off whistle-toning at the Billboard Music Awards? Fuck this.
I don't even blame you. I don't blame her.
Ariana misses work in pursuit of her music career, while I act with a box. If I wasn't such a good sport, I wouldn't be in this predicament in the first place. I wouldn't be on this shitty show saying these shitty lines on this shitty set with this shitty hairstyle. I'm pissed about it. And I'm pissed at her. Jealous of her.
It's easy to see how Jeanette built up resentment towards her co-star. Every time something exciting happens to her, I feel like she robbed me of having that experience myself. As if Jeanette's internal struggle wasn't hard enough, her mother Deborah passed away losing her battle with breast cancer. Near the end of her life, Deborah wrote Jeanette a shocking email containing things that no mother should ever say to her child.
Dear Net, I am so disappointed in you. You used to be my perfect little angel, but now you are nothing more than a little, all caps, floozy, all used up. And to think, you wasted it on that hideous ogre of a man. I saw the pictures on a website called TMZ. I saw you rubbing his disgusting hairy stomach. I knew you were lying about Colton. I had told her I was with a friend, Colton. Add that to the list of things you are. Liar, conniving, evil. You look pudgier too. It's clear you're eating your guilt. Thinking of you with his ding dong inside of you makes me sick. Sick. I raised you better than this. What happened to my good little girl? Where did she go? And who is this monster that has replaced her? You're an ugly monster now. I told your brothers about you and they all said they disown you just like I do. We want nothing to do with you. Love, Mom. Or should I say Deb, since I am no longer your mother. P.S. Send money for a new fridge. Ours broke.
Losing a parent is already hard, but what about losing an abusive parent that wholeheartedly admitted they want nothing to do with you? As you can imagine, this sent Jeanette's life into a dark place.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect this to take that turn. What the fuck? P.S. We disown you? Send money for a new fridge? Oh my.
To compound the stress, McCurdy was the victim of an invasion of privacy when explicit selfies of her surfaced on the internet, which ultimately led to Nickelodeon canceling Sam and Cat, claiming both actresses desired to move on to other projects. Following her mother's passing, Jeanette began to struggle with an eating disorder as well as an addiction to alcohol.
As the show was airing, her mother died of cancer. Jeanette says her life was spinning out of control, anorexia morphing into bulimia and alcohol abuse.
I was never aiming for bulimia. I was attempting to have anorexia, but I couldn't keep it up without my mom. So then that would lead to, I'd starve myself for so long, and then I'd binge, and then I'd purge because I hated the feeling of fullness, hated it.
But Jeanette remained strong. She was not going to let her trauma destroy the rest of her life. She first sought professional help for her eating disorder.
I started with an eating disorder specialist, so it was very clinical, and we didn't get into trauma or childhood stuff. We didn't get into any of that, and I think I needed that at the time because I think I needed to get that addiction under control before being able to go anywhere near like excavating the stuff from the past. I think that would have fueled the addiction if I were working on that in tandem with the addiction.
Jeanette knew that addressing and treating the critical aspect of her health was going to be hard enough. So once that treatment helped her regain her strength, then it was time to dive into the complexities of her childhood.
First therapist Laura started asking questions about my mom. Immediately I went into, well, she did this, but it's because she's such a good mom. It's because she wanted me to be successful. It's because she wanted me to have a better life. Like, I didn't even realize that I was at the time, but in retrospect I see, oh, I was disclaiming every single thing that my mom did instead of just stating the reality or how I felt about it. I was more concerned with how to keep my mom looking good than I was with expressing my true emotional reality.
Jeanette's
that's the reality of a kid, bro. Nigga, you supposed to be a superhero damn near.
journey to restoring her health and well-being was not something that a few therapy sessions would fix, and even after she has spent years working at it, it never truly goes away. Jeanette decided to retire from acting in 2016. However, she did write and direct a few short films that are very much inspired by her childhood, but nobody truly knew the severity of her deep emotional hardships until she released her 2022 memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. The shocking title doesn't necessarily mean Jeanette is celebrating her mother's death, but it does reflect her complicated emotions, grief, relief, and the pain of losing someone who also caused her harm. Her mom's passing meant the end of her control and abuse, finally giving Jeanette the chance to heal. The reality is, mourning an abusive parent isn't always simple. Sometimes sadness and relief exist at the same time, and millions of people around the world supported Jeanette's vulnerability. Putting something this deep and complicated out to the world is not easy. Her memoir sold over 200,000 copies across all formats in its first week, and as of today, she has sold over 2 million copies.
Good for her, bro.
Number one, baby.
Dang, you fucking suck, Sam. Any day now, Sam. Or Jeanette.
I hate. This is a bad idea. I hate lemons.
Yep.
Around the same time, Paramount Plus also announced the plan to make a reboot of iCarly, but many were disappointed to learn that Jeanette would not be reprising her role as Sam Puckett.
Why would she do that?
I just want to make things again.
You don't need a partner to do that.
Yeah, I don't need a partner. I need Sam. But she's off following her bliss with that biker gang.
The Obliterators. Oh, she's...
Wait, hold on. Did that ever go far? Wait, real question. I gotta see. iCarly without Sam is
Sam.
It's some BS.
I hope they're okay.
When Jeanette said she was done with acting definitively, and the baggage that came with it, she meant it. But her castmates respected her decision.
And we all really wanted Jeanette to be a part of the show in real life, but she's just doing other things, and we're really happy for her. But yeah, we're definitely going to touch on that in the show.
Is the elevator door still open that if Jeanette wanted to come back as Sam for an episode, could that happen?
Anytime.
I mean, that elevator door is always open. It never closed. But again, we want to be respectful of her and the decisions that we made. So obviously, no pressure, of course, but whatever she wants to do. We love her. That's all she needs to know.
Not only did Jeanette not return to the show that made fans around the world love her, she said she wouldn't even watch it because of the demons it might bring back. And although it's heartbreaking that the thing that fans around the world fell in love with her for is the exact same thing that caused her so much pain and suffering, it is comforting to know that she does still cherish one part about her time as a child actor, and that is her friendship that she made with Miranda Cosgrove.
Oh my God, I love Miranda to pieces. I always will. She has such a special place in my heart. She helped me grow as a person and heal as a person, and I hope I did the same for her, and I just love her so much.
I'm not gonna lie, that was... Be grateful for your parents, bro, especially the ones with the good parents, because, nigga, like, damn.